Today I'm going to try to show you different ways to use the explode function. I've been trying to do this for a week now, and for some reason I just cannot get it made. But I'm determined today I'm going to finish it and upload it. Now, I have done all examples in the past, but they were in separate videos because functions have been added over time for the explode. And while I did the videos at the time, I want to try to put them all together now and make one video showing as many ways as I can think of to use the explode. I can only think of tables, shapes, and text that actually will allow you to explode. And first I'm going to show you, it's on the, if you have something that can be exploded, selected. So if I select, this is a table, and I go to the selection toolbar and look for the word explode. Now it's only got, yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to, now watch what happens. As soon as I hit explode, right now you can see I've got 4 columns and 3 rows. All right. But I hit explode, and suddenly all of my color has disappeared. It has basically gone from being a table to being lines, like you drew some very straight lines. So if you wanted to draw a bunch of straight lines, this would be the way to do it. I mean, the fastest way I know to create lines is to build a table. And anyway, so now if I go back up to here, see the properties, you can always tell what you've got selected by what's underneath properties. And it was handwriting. It changed it from a table to handwriting. So you've lost all your table functionality. So don't do this if you need the table functionality. But right now what you've got is a bunch of lines. And I think the first reason we had it was in order to move like this line up closer to the top, and maybe this line closer to the, something's weird about this. And at first it bothered me because I wasn't sure what it was doing. When I select that line and then I try to move it, suddenly I've got this thing. And I'm not real sure what that is, but I do know that it's still attached to the line, so I can move it. Now, that was interesting. One thing you could take advantage of is, if I wanted it this close to the left, then I can drag it and it can actually be a spacer for me. So that's kind of a cool function. But in all truth, it's just lines that, oops, it'll also stretch them out thicker. So that's something you can do with it. But there you go. If I don't want that line at all, I can delete it. Now, if I want to make this line longer, you might want to write something over on the left side of these boxes, like headers or whatever. You could extend those lines out and then write something. Let me change it. Turn off this and then, write something over here to kind of title what's inside that table. And that was my only examples. But this afternoon I took a nap and I woke up and it's like, well, duh, why haven't I been thinking about the round tables? Because you can actually create something with that. So I did some round tables. And first I did this one. All you had to do was create a table again and go to shape and do circular. And again, I need to add some more rows. And then I'm going to get rid of the columns because I really don't need those in order to do what I'm doing now. And now if I explode it, go back to the select menu, go back down to explode. See, right now the properties say table properties because that's what I have drawn as a table. But if I go down to explode, I've just created a whole bunch of circles. How cool. And I'm going to select the outside line because that also includes that one that's running up the middle. And I don't want that, so I'm going to delete that altogether. Just delete it. Now I can select all these ones. I'm trying to select it without selecting my word. I need to just move this. Select that, and then I just said, well, let me try just doing this. I wonder how cool is this. You know, if you needed a bunch of circles that were all the same, probably the fastest way to do it is create a table and take out all the space between the tables, so they're basically all the circles are lined up on top of each other, and then you can spread them out and you can have a bunch of circles. But right now, what I did to do that up at the top, I just lined them up at the bottom. See, I just click on the line down at the bottom, click on bottom, and see how it did that. And then I took the bucket tool and found a pattern, a saved pattern, this one, and just filled it in every other one. And okay, and then nothing exciting about that, but it's just kind of cool, and maybe you can think of a reason to do that. And you know, that's just to whet your appetite to see what you can think of. Well, then I decided one of the advantages to being able to use the line drawings or the handwriting function is I can go back and select it, go to the menu, click on handwriting properties, go to custom, do dashed, then go down and do apply, and now it looks like stitches around each one of these sections. And when I did that, and I'm thinking suddenly quilting, well, that could be quilted. I went out and looked for patterns for quilting. Googled it, and I came up with this idea. Let's see. Right here. I did that with a table. Exploding a table. How cute is that? Now you could also obviously do a better job of color and all that business. But what I did was I created a circle. So if I go back to the table, create a table, it starts out, rectangular. Then I go to shape, change it to circular, and then go back and a bunch more columns. And you want to do them so that it gives you a good quarter piece. You know, so 12 gives you a good quarter piece. Let's see, 24. Because what I'm trying to do here is have a lot of pie-shaped pieces that fit in a corner that are perfectly divided by 4. So 24 is divided by 4 will give you 6 panels. That would be like what I'm showing here. I need the lines to be at the very top middle, the very side middle, down at the bottom, so that now I can I gotta think about it. It's 360. this is what I was looking for, y'all. Shape. And the center gap was what I was not finding. See, if I pull in the center gap, that's when it makes that hole. So I do only need one row. All right, so I go back to here and I can get rid of that row. And now I've got what looks like this. Except that I'm going to take it all the way back down to 0 and then go back to 24 again so that I get my my up and down lines back. So now I can explode it. Again, watch, it's table properties there now under properties. But if I go back to explode, okay, now that is handwriting properties instead. So basically what I could do here is, because it's like I drew lines, I could erase any part of this. I could go ahead and erase the outside edge. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and fill each one of the, we'll call them wedges of the pie, with something. We'll fill it with color. Let's see. Tap on it and fill just one section. Tap on it. And I'm going to do every other one. And then I'll just leave that tan background back there. And I will then go to the saved. And because I have a lot of patterns saved for the bucket fill, I can take advantage of that. And I need to zoom in. And go back to the saved bucket. See, I do love that plaid or that gingham pattern, but I'm going to use something different. And I'm going to change the color for that to be, pull it down, something that's part of this palette. So now my polka dots are going to be a darker green. All right. So now I have my first piece of fabric. Then I go back to a different pattern. We'll do the gingham this time and change it to dark green again. Tap on it. And there I have a gingham. Now I might need to make that a little bit smaller. So I'm going to undo it. Pull it down a little bit so it's smaller. Tap on the next line. There you have it. Now I can go back to my list of saves. It's a good thing to go ahead and have yourself a little library of images. I'm going to change it again to the dark green. Tap on that. It keeps finding holes in the in the fill. All right. Then go to a different pattern. Let's do that and make it very, very small. Tap on it. See, so now I'm creating my fabrics on my different little columns. Make it green. Tap on it. You know, and you can make it any color, obviously, that you want to. So let me just do one more. Make it smaller. Tap. There you have it. So now I've got fabric on my whole thing. Now I can do a grab. No, I'm thinking. No, before I do a grab, I have to select the lines. And I'm going to try to avoid all those shapes that are there that are the fabric. So I'm going to go to my selection menu and do filter. and I just want to select the handwriting, so the pen, and I'm going to get rid of the text. So now I'm going to select all the black, which is the handwriting tool, okay? And I go back to, I have to remember now, go back to the pen. See, I did it again. Select it, go here, handwriting properties, go to customize, do dashed, and make it a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to leave it black just because it's easier to see, and do apply and make it smaller because it's too big, and do apply. So now it looks like stitches. Okay, now, which is kind of cool. You notice, because when I did the fill, my line was much, much thicker. It did leave a gap around it so that you can actually see the stitching line. You can decide whether you want to do that or not. I didn't do that on my first quilt, quote unquote, but that's okay. That's fine that way. Now I'm going to do a grab, and I'm going to just catch well, let me make it smaller. I'm going to go to the top of my circle, pull it out so that it catches the very edge of the side like this, and that way it's going to go in the middle. All right, so I know that this is a good fan. So I tap on it, do copy, double tap, and it pastes. There's my first granny square, whatever kind of square. Whoever knows quilting would know how to, a fan, I don't know. Okay, so I take that now, I do a copy, and then I take this into the image edit, go to change color, and give it a little bit of a thing, and then I'm going to go here and tell it what colors I want to change. I want to change the, I don't know, maybe let's try, all we can do is try and see how it affects it. So I've just picked the change to color to be yellow, see? So now when I tap on existing color, which I want to be that dark green, I select it. See, everything that was dark green was selected, and it just changed those colors. Now I can make it a little bit more tolerant, and it'll change more things. See? and I don't know if you noticed, but when I changed it to a different color, it didn't change the previous. So if I go back down here, everything's back to green. The existing color that I chose is this dark green. If I click on it, well, because I've got to up the tolerance. So I just changed the dark green to yellow. And I don't know, I'm going to leave it. But if I automatically clicked on the black, say, see, it didn't change the green. The green is back. So in order for that to work, there's no undo. You have to just close this down. And so I'm going to say that I want to change the dark green. So I click on that, and it'll change the color. I've got to give it some tolerance. So it changed the green again. And if I do a little bit more tolerance, see, it'll get more of the green. And if I want it to stay, I have to hit apply here. And then I can go to a different color and change the different color. If I wanted to do the blacks at this point, see, I just changed the black to yellow. And at this point I could do done, and it would keep both of those color changes, but I'm not. I'm going to take it back down to the tolerance level to 0 because I want to keep the black. And now I do, I could do save and continue. I'm going to do that because I do want to make 4 versions, and I've got the first one, and this is the second one, so I'm going to save this one. Now I'm going to go and do the change color to something else. Let's say the dark brown. Go back here, change the tolerance, and choose the yellow this time. And now I've got a whole different color pattern. And do save and continue. Then, of course, we won't know until we get there if this, how this is going to look with the different colors. So now I'm going to go back to change colors and choose, I don't know, maybe that color. That's not the darkest. I like that. And now I can do done, and it will save all versions of what I just created. So I've got, that's pretty close, so I'm going to keep them separate. Select this one. You know what? It's not selecting it. Hold on. Woo! I've got so much going on right now. Sorry, I'm trying to clean some stuff up. It's not letting me select that one that I just added. Oh, you know why? See? The filter. If you don't have that to turn off automatically, that is an option you can do, then it's going to stay that way and you're not going to be able to select stuff. See, there you go. Okay, so now I've got my 4 different fans, I'm going to call them. And I can butt them up next to each other. And at this point, I really need to, in order to have that outside border for it, I need to add another table around the outside. So I need one row table. And see, it's already set up for me. It's 1 row with 4 columns. So I'm just going to draw that. Put that on top. Probably would be better to explode it so I could see. Do explode. It's selected. Go down till I get to explode. And pull it down now. Well, I need to center it. So I need to select that whole thing and then align it to the bottom. And now I can select the bigger table, pull it down. And I'm going to select that, and I'm going to change the handwriting properties, go to the customization, do dashed, and do apply. So now I have a blanket stitch. Make it smaller. Apply. Okay. Do this in another app. Okay. Now I'm going to grab that whole little line and tap off, do copy, double tap to paste. All right, so now it looks like this with my 4 different patterns, and I can take that into the bucket, create a bucket, or go to the bucket, and go back to the style and do from pasteboard. Nope. Oh, the reason it's black like that is because the use image as mask is turned on. Turn that off. So now we have our pattern in the bucket, and I can, let's see if I can use this Yeah. See, now I can take that bucket tool that's got the pattern in it. Ooh, way too small. Undo that. Go back to the bucket menu. Make it way bigger. Tap. And there you have it. It could be a little bit bigger. That way you're not repeating the outside. But anyway, you see what I did. So that's a good use for explode. All right. I just love Zoom Notes. You know, it only takes imagination. All right, so now let's go to the next thing you can do. Go to table. I promise the rest of them are not going to be this many steps. I'm going to change it to shape and get rid of that. Now, I use this feature all the time because I like adding this shaded edge to this Christmas tree. This right here, where's the original? See, this is the original Christmas tree. It was just something that I purchased it in a kit or something. So this is the original image. What I did was I went and did fine boundary shape. Now, this is important to listen. When I do a fine boundary shape, it's going to have the characteristics of the shape that is the default. So if I look at my shape and I add drop shadow, it's going to have a drop shadow. And right now the fill is white. Well, I don't want a white filling, so I'm going to turn off the filling. And I do want a border. I just want a little slight. I'm going to make it brown. Make it brown. Now when I do the select boundary shape, it's going to, or create boundary shape, whatever it says, it's going to give me an outline that's brown, and it's going to have a drop shadow. So watch what happens. Now I might make it a little bit bigger, thicker. Now I'm going to select my image again, whatever image you have. It just needs to be, like a ping that has a shape. And then do fine boundary shape. Okay, see what happened? I've got my drop shadow now, and I've got my brown. So here is what it created. Now I can explode it. Now if there was a filling, it would lose the filling, but it doesn't lose the drop shadow. I want to unmove it. Go back here and then do unmove. So now it's perfectly set. Now I go back to what I created is selected. I go to shape properties. I go to style. Oh, no, I got to explode it first. I forgot. Hadn't exploded it yet. Shape properties. Go down here to explode. Because it's available, I know that I can use it. So I hit explode. Now what I've just created is handwriting again. Okay. Now I go back to the handwriting properties. My tree is selected, or my shape of a tree is selected. I change it to the second pen because I like it a lot. And I make it bigger, make it fuzzy. And I do apply. Now, that's a little too heavy for me, so I'm going to go to the 1.0 just so I can change the opacity and take it down some. And see, I'm giving myself that outside. If anybody's ever made cards in real life, a lot of times what we will do is take the stamp pad and hit the edge of what shape or card or whatever to make an outline on the outside edge of the card and kind of give it a grunge look. Very popular thing to do. And I have been trying to accomplish that that look. And this is the closest I've been able to come to it. So now I still have the shape selected, or the thing that I created, the tree shape selected. So I go to grab. Nope. I don't want it to be square. I want it to be that. Okay. I'm going to use that because that way, right now there's 3 or 4 different things going on that tree over on the left. So I'm just going to select this, use the grab tool. See, it gives me a grab shape. And if I tap off now, do copy, and then do paste, I just double tap for my paste. Nope. Why didn't it grab everything? See, I'm thinking that little thing was a bug. That's why I can't get this done. I keep having these little issues that I should not be having. And I don't know why. Well, see, when I moved it like that, okay, now it actually split it out. So I'm going to, once again, try to, let me see what I selected. Well, I'm just going to move that out of the way. No, I need to have it. There is selected. Let me do a grab. Nope. See, I was moving along so good. Select that. Do grab. Move it up here. Tap off. Do copy. There. Ah! I apologize, guys. When that kind of stuff happens, I just kind of just keep rolling until I get it to work. But now it looks like I have taken my stamp pad and kind of brushed it on the outside edges. It kind of gives it a shape. And see here, I did the same thing with like a gray color. And then I just hit the center with the plaid. But to do that, I had to close off the bottom. So I had to take the pen, go back to shape. Let's see, I'm just going to pick this and I'm going to turn off the dashed and then just draw across this. And now I can use my bucket tool. No. See, now it's selecting that thing. Dadgummit. But all right, now I've got my bucket tool. And we're going to just use the little pattern that's there. Nope, that didn't work. The problem with doing that is that this is a modeled piece of tree. So I'm going to select this one. And I filled this shape. Let me not do that. Let me select it again. And go to the bucket tool. Make the little pattern smaller. And I'm going to close off again this. I don't want the bottom to be done. So I just drew a little line across the pot, across the top of the pot, the bottom of the tree. Go back to the bucket tool and tap on that tree. Select it, move it over here. Now see, I would have needed to do that before I did the grab. Let's see, do this and go back, move it back one. Move back, move. I'm going to move it all the way back because sometimes, and then I'm going to move it forward one. There. Okay. Select that, do grab, move it over here. Try to center it good. Tap off, copy, double tap, There you have it. Zoom Notes is so cool. All right, so that's shapes. That's what you could do with exploding a shape. The next thing you can do, and I kind of did a video real recently on this, but I still left out some stuff that you can, I didn't mention some things, so I can go ahead and include it. Now I'm going to take that off and do text. Now text, if I go to a PDF document, let's see, where? Sorry, I was playing with the pages thing. I need to go back up to the top where there's actual text there. Okay, and I get the little I-beam, the A with the I-beam, and select a chunk of text, do copy, then I pull it into the page that I was working on and double tap. Oh, no. Okay, what that just did, because I had not changed the active, when you do something, if you're on a layer that you've hidden, but you actually do something new to it, how do I get off of this? It makes it show up again. I need to go make active my text layer and turn off my shape layer. It automatically turns the what you see on. It makes that come back on if you don't move the active screen. Okay, so now I'm back to text. I'm on the text. I'm going to double tap what I just, where did it go? I think this is it. Yeah, if I select that and I pull down, I don't want to pull down. I change it back to text. See, I didn't have, whenever I pasted it, it didn't have enough room to show the text that I had pasted down. So now this is the whole scripture. And what you can do is, while it's on the A, no matter where it's returning at the end right now, if I want to be able to use it for what you can do with explode, I want to hit a hard return everywhere that I want it to explode. So I know that I want the Isaiah 40:29 to be on a separate row. So I hit return. Then he gives strength. You know, I don't know. You decide where you want the breaks to be. I'm going to hit he gives and then strength, because I want to add emphasis to certain words. To the weary. Hit return and increases the, and hit return. Now, if you were typing this, you could do it yourself. Go ahead and hit the hard returns, and it would, it would give you the ability to explode it, and you would have different pieces. Now, this is all still one chunk, but if I select it, it's selected, and I go to explode, it's going to break all of those lines into separate pieces. So now I can move this Isaiah 40:29, which is at the beginning where I got it from. I'm going to move it to the bottom because I want it to be last. And then I can take the strength, select it, change the font to be something else, something fancy, because I want it to stand out. All right. Now, strength. Now you have to, you know how things, especially text, see how it's got so much air around it? You have to kind of break that apart so that, and then rearrange it, because you don't know what effect it's going to have on the things around it. So I need to, while it's text, go ahead and pull in some of that stuff. But still, I would kind of keep it separate. And then if I want the word power to be highlighted, change it to the fancier script and make it bigger. Done. See, I can pull in. And now I could move things back. Now see, I made the box too small for it. And so basically what I'm saying here is you're able to do those fancy little things that you see done and other people are doing by hand. This is kind of pretending that you did it. It takes some time to get it figured out. I keep selecting that power. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and get these things set to where you want them, and then pull the fancy stuff in. Okay, let's try it again. We'll move power down here. It's just so confusing. Okay, pull it in. Tap off. Nope. The problem is, the way I can fix that, I keep doing it, trying to make it happen. It's because I've got the text centered. So centered and in the middle. So if I just do top left and tap off, then I know exactly where that power is going to go. All right, so I don't have to fight that anymore. See? So don't have it centered. Just take advantage of the fact that it's, again, I need to change it to top left. And now I know where it's going to go exactly, and I might need to make it a little bit bigger. But I need to select it. Made it way too big. Now, if I take it to select, I can pull it in that way. See, it's still centered horizontally. So if I go back to text, no, it's not either. It should be, it's not centered. Maybe I didn't hit apply maybe or something. All right, see, okay. So that's what I did with this one over here. If it's all just one big run, one line, it's easier to do this kind of thing, though I didn't give a good example of that, by breaking it apart and moving it and, adjusting and doing what you want to with it and making it prettier. And like I said, I needed to practice on that. But anyway, I'm going to stop now and say that this video is done. And I hope you guys learned something from it. Okay, there's 3 things that I'm aware of that you can use Explode on. The table, the shape, and text. All right, that's it. Y'all have a great day here. Bye.